Okay, Rani, let's start with the bridge class. Remember, I took a small test of yours, and as we discussed, we have to have some classes, right?
Yes, ma'am, I remember.
Yeah. So let's do that only. Let's start with the bridge classes only, basic things. I'll show you your diagnostic test paper also if you want, but see, the questions were incorrect. Basically, the parallelogram law questions you had attempted. So I'll start with those with parallelogram law only. So see, in your 12th class also, this law will be used throughout. Even in the first chapter, electric charges and field, we'll be requiring this parallelogram law. You have forces are vectors. So you have the parallelogram law and everything. So since we are doing vectors, let's start with the basics of vectors. When we are talking about physical quantities, Ranim, what is the difference between a scalar and a vector?
In a scalar quantity, there is no direction, but in vector, magnitude as well as direction.
Yes, when we are talking about a scalar quantity, we just have the magnitude present. What is meant by magnitude? Like if I tell you velocity is minus 3 meter per second, what's the magnitude here?
3.
3. Exactly. That is the number. Just the number without any signs means the magnitude. So scalar quantities will have this magnitude, while when we are talking about these vectors, magnitude will be present, plus they'll be having the direction, plus they will be obeying the vector laws. Now, when we're talking about these vector laws, let's discuss the vector laws only. So, first law is the parallelogram law. Now, I'll tell you some conditions for parallelogram law, which was there in the paper also. See, one first condition is that vectors should be coinitial. I'll give you time to copy, so just now understand right now. Vectors should be coinitial. Okay. When I say coinitial means vectors should have the same starting point, like this. This, if they have the same starting point. So this means these vectors are what they are. They have the same starting point. This should be same. This means they are what? They are coinitial vectors. So if you see two vectors, this was the first question. If two vectors are coinitial, the question said that one of the forces is 1 Newton, second force is 2 Newton. So if both are coinitial, which vector law is suitable? So see, the answer was parallelogram law, because if two vectors are coinitial, then it satisfies the criteria of parallelogram. Second, here after this vector should be coinitial. You should know that parallelogram law can only solve two vectors at a time. Two vectors at a time, only two vectors. Now, what exactly is this parallelogram law? If you see two vectors, see, you should know the basic structure of a parallelogram first. This is the basic structure of a parallelogram. These are opposite sides and parallel. They are equal also. Opposite sides are equal and parallel. So if any two vectors are present in a manner which are coinitial with some angle between them and are representing the sides of parallelogram. Look, if I draw it like this here and this same side here, this looks like the adjacent sides of the parallelogram, this one. Let's say this is some vector A, this is some vector B, they are having some angle theta. We will do the first step, that is completing the parallelogram. So this law says, parallelogram law says that when two vectors are representing the adjacent sides of the parallelogram, the resultant is given by joining the diagonal like this. Okay, you join the diagonal, you will get the resultant. This is the resultant which solves two vectors. So this resultant is the resultant of what? Resultant of two vectors. That's why parallelogram law can only solve two vectors at a time. You will see multiple forces are acting in your system. Multiple electric fields will be acting in your system. So how will you solve them? You will solve two forces only at a time. Then it's resultant with another force. Then it's resultant with with another force like this. So this is how you have to represent the parallelogram. Now, coming to the calculation part. So this is clear. One more thing. You mark the answer as triangle law, right? Triangle law. When you see triangle law, this means, see, one thing you should know that this is how we represent a vector. You must have seen on the top of quantity, this arrow is present. This is basically the head of a vector. This is basically the tail of the vector. This is how we represent it. So if you see two vectors whose head is coinciding with the next tail, then that is coinciding with the next head like this. Those vectors are said to be in the same order. Like I give you vectors like this, like this. These vectors are in the same order. But if I reverse one of them, like this, second one like this is in the opposite order. Now, if you have two vectors in the same order means it will look like this. One vector like this, one like this. See, they are not coinitial. Look, the starting point is not the same. For starting point to be the same, tail should coincide. But right now, tails heads and then tails heads means this is in the same order. If you see such a case, then you are going to apply the triangle law where your coinitial vectors are not valid. Here, let's say this is some angle between them is some angle theta. The resultant of this triangle will be given by the closing side of the triangle taken in opposite order. I'll write this also. This is the closing side of triangle taken in opposite order. So the answer which you marked, the question said that 1 Newton and 2 Newton forces are acting at 60 degree and they are co-initial. So which law should be applicable?
Parallelogram.
Parallelogram, right? Now let us just discuss basic things regarding the magnitude and all. Then you can write it down. When
Ma'am,
you
in triangle law also only two vectors
two
can be
vectors,
solved at a time.
only two vectors. If you have multiple sides, then we use polygon law. In that also, first you take two vectors at a time, you resolve them. That take that resultant with the next vector. Then find its resultant. Like this, keep on reducing it until you find the overall bigger resultant. You will use this a lot in your superposition principle of your first chapter of class 12. That's why I'm emphasizing on this so much, okay? When
Yes.
you have to calculate the magnitude, let's say two vectors are A and B, and the angle between them is, let's say, theta. Theta is what? Theta is the angle between A and B. So look, this will be under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. This is it. This is the magnitude, and this is valid for both. The magnitude calculation is valid for both your parallelogram law also and your triangle law also. Parallelogram as well as the triangle law. So it is valid for both of these. This is the magnitude. You use this, you will get the answer. But see, there are three steps in parallelogram. Whenever you have this law of parallelogram, this has three steps to solve. First step is geometrical construction. Geometrical construction. Geometrical construction means you draw the resultant and check where is your resultant line. First, your step is check where is the resultant pointing. Are we able to will we be able to use the parallelogram law or not? Check like this. Draw a rough parallelogram like thing where you can just see our resultant will be pointing like this. That's the first step. Second step you will do is to calculate the magnitude. For the magnitude, you already know vector has a magnitude. Magnitude, use this formula. for both of it. Then there's a third step, last step, that is direction. Because you only told me vector is incomplete without a without a direction. That's the thing that differs scalars and vectors. So you need to calculate the direction also. So when we are talking about the direction, what you do, let's say these are two vectors. This is vector A, this is vector B, and they are separated by some angle theta. Now, this is the resultant. We done the geometrical construction. We saw that yes, this is the resultant where it should lie. And we know the magnitude is also given by this. Remember, this only gives the magnitude. This is not the complete answer. This gives the magnitude. Now, see, Rani, you have to find out the direction also. So what you will do, just take beta with any of the vectors. Like let me take this here, an angle beta with any of this. To calculate direction is, the formula is tan beta is equal to b sine theta divided by a plus b cos theta. Now, the question is, what is your B, what is your A? Remember, the vector with which you have taken the angle, which is adjacent to it, like beta, what is adjacent to beta? A, right? So
Yes.
this will be this A. This will become the B. For example, if I give you a question, let's say this is 1 Newton, this is 5 Newton, and I have made beta here. So in this formula, instead of A, I will put it as 5. Instead of B, I will put it as N. And theta is already the separation between the both the vectors. Okay, so this is how you calculate the direction. And whatever angle you get, answer you get, you can write this as beta is tan inverse B sine theta divided by A plus B cos theta. You solve it, you get whatever answer is that. This will give
Ma'am,
you,
can we see with one example?
yeah, I'll show you an example only. See, do one thing, write it till here first. Then we'll practice some questions, okay? Just do one thing in the chat box, keep on texting me done, then I'll scroll it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Rani, written this part?
Yes, ma'am, written.
Okay, Ranim. Now let us practice some questions on parallelogram law first. Okay, then we'll to come to Cartesian system. Cartesian system and polar system. Do you understand when I use the term?
Is the sign convention, right?
No, no. See, when we talk about vectors, only vectors, not the physical quantities. Physical quantities are of two types. One is are the scalar groups, and second are the vector groups. When we have vectors, vectors are also of multiple types. So amongst them, you have polar form of vectors. Polar form of vector means when the angle is present between the vectors, like vector f1, vector f2, and let's say angle 32 degree between them. This is polar form. We are studying this right now. If two vectors are given, like geometrical figure is given, so which vector will be the resultant, or how will you calculate the resultant? Second method is the Cartesian method. Cartesian means when vectors are given in this form, a I cap plus b j cap plus c k cap, like this. So this we have not started with. Right now we are just understanding this polar form, and that only we'll do today. Okay.
Yes.
So let's practice some questions. See, first let me write down the question. See, now let us first draw this. This is saying 5 Newton and 3 Newton are acting at 30 degree between them. So let's say this is 5 Newton and this is 3 Newton, okay? And they are subtending an angle of 30 degree. So first step, as we discussed, is the geometrical construction. So what we'll do, we'll complete the parallelogram first. If this is how the parallelogram should supposed to look like. So the diagonal will give us the resultant. This will be our resultant, means two vectors are present, their resultant is given by the diagonal. Now our task is to find out the magnitude of this. First step is done, this geometrical step is, construction part is done. Coming to the usage of the formula R. I told you R is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Now let's say A is this 5 Newton, so it will become 5 square. Now B for us, let's say, is 3 Newton. So this will become 3 square plus 2 into A. What is A? 5. So we are going to write 5. What is B? 3. So we are going to write 3. Now theta is 30 degrees. So it will be cos 30 degree. Like this. So if we solve it further, this will be 25 plus 9. This will be 30 into root cos 30 degree. What is cos 30 degree? Yes, Shani, cos 30 degree.
Uh, 1 by 2
No, no, no.
plus
Cos,
60.
that is, yes. So cos 30 will be root 3 by 2.
Yes.
Okay. This is root 3 by 2. Cos 60, when we talk about cos 30 degree. When you talk about cos 60 degree, that is 1 by 2, which you were telling. So one thing you have to do today is, apart from the revision, whatever has done in the class, revision plus the homework questions that I will share it on the portal, upload your PDF, convert it into a PDF and upload it. Plus you are going to revise the trigonometric angles. Trigonometric angles. Which all angles are very important? Look, at least 0 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, 45 degree, 90 degree for cos and sine. Just revise them because this will be helpful in your uh, upcoming portion of the vectors. Okay.
Yes.
So this will be 34 plus 15 root 3, right? Under root this, we don't need to solve. This would be the answer, somewhat like this. Let's say this is the Newton. This you can solve further. Put the value of root 3. what is the value of root 3? 1.74 something. So this
Yes.
you can put, and then this you can solve. Right now we are just studying the method. So this is how you will get the magnitude. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, now the last step, second step is done. So I'll take beta with any of it. Let's take, I have taken beta here. So this will become A or B. Hmm?
Mm, we can choose any, right?
No, no, no. You can choose the angle with your wish. Once you have chosen the angle, the vector near the angle becomes A. Okay? And this one will become B. Because in the direction, see, directions are specific. They are referring to some angle. So third step, that is tan beta. In the formula, B sine theta divided by A plus B cos theta. See, Raneem, when you're saying, no, we can choose any of it, you can choose any of it for this formula. Because even if you interchange, it won't differ your answer. You take A here, you take B here, or you take B here, you take A here. You'll get the same answer ultimately. This will be 9 plus 25, or you can write that as 25 plus 9, that will be the same. But the problem with the direction is that this is something different. It is just independent A, whereas with B you have associated sine theta, and in the denominator you have an associated cos theta. So that's why if you change A and B here, your answers will be different. You change the value of A, your answer will be different. You put the value of B as A, your answer will be different. In case of the magnitude, the formula was very simple. A square plus B square. You write it as B square plus A square. That didn't make a difference. So for that time, you can choose anything. But here you have to be very specific. If you are taking one vector as A, then that will only be put here. So how to decide? Suppose I take this vector, I have chosen that my, what was the value? 3 Newton is V. So 3, now sine, we have the angle as, here we have the angle as 30 degree. Yeah. So it will be B sine 30 degree divided by A is 5 plus what is B? 3 cos 30 degree. This will be 3 by 2. Sine 30 is half. 5 plus 3. This is again root 3 by 2. Like this, you can solve it later on. Right now, I'm not solving. Or let me just make it a little simpler. This can be written as 3 by 10 plus 3 root 3. This I'm not solving further. This is what? This is tan beta. So what will be beta? Beta will be tan inverse this whole angle. 3 plus 10 plus 3 root 3. Right now, I just took random numbers with random angle. That's why we are getting these big values. You can get it simplified also. The values can be simple. Now, Raneem, regarding a confusion of your with the direction part. See, let's say this is vector A, this is vector B. If let's say this is my resultant. If I choose this as beta, let me mark some values so that it won't look as simple. This is, let's say, 5 Newton and this was 3 Newton. This is what I chose. Now, if I'm
Yes.
taking this as beta, in my formula of tan beta, I will put B as 3 and A as 5, right? So I had the formula as 3 sine theta by 5 plus 3 cos theta. Now, what if I wanted to choose the other way around? These are the two angles, these are the two vectors given. One is 5 Newton, other is 3 Newton, and this is the resultant. What if I have chosen this as beta? If I have chosen this as beta, this will become A and this will become B. Now it means that if I want to write the direction, I will write instead of B, I will write 5. 5 sine theta divided by 3 plus 5 cos beta. What is this direction? What are we doing? What is this tan beta? This is basically telling you, see, vectors have directions. Now, Ranim, if I give you two vectors, you tell me their resultant's magnitude, that is fine. But how will I know where is the resultant lying? Like if I give you example, two vectors are present like this. You are telling me their resultant's magnitude is 5 Newton. Okay, these are the two vectors. So if you just tell me this, that's it. So I can imagine, okay, if their resultant's magnitude is 5 Newton, the resultant can be here, this is the resultant. This could be the resultant according to the data that you told me that this is 5 Newton. This could be the resultant. The resultant could be here also. But we know from our first step that if these are the parallelogram side, the resultant would be like this, right? This is what we studied.
Yes.
How will you tell me that from the angle, the resultant vector is lying here only? It's not here or here. It could, I can imagine it like this also if I just tell you 5 Newton. So we just take beta. Beta means if I know this angle, if this is known. So you answer, suppose, let's say this angle came out to be 45 degree. So you can tell me, let's say this vector is 1 Newton. So you can tell me the resultant is 45 degrees with respect to 1 Newton. So I will get to know, okay, it is 45 degrees with respect to 1 Newton. So vector will lie like this. This is the resultant's direction. If you tell me the angle here, let's say if this is 45, this will also be 45. This is, let's say, 8 Newton. So you tell me it is 45 degree with respect to 8 Newton. So if this is the vector, I know, okay, with respect to 8 Newton, it is 45 degrees. So it will lie here like this. So I'll get exactly what you had started the question. Did you get it? Why, what are we calculating with this beta?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why just take beta. You can take any one of them as beta. I told you, no, take any one of it. You just have to at the end mention with respect to what. You mention it with respect to this, your answer. Like
So we can choose any
any,
one which we
yeah,
assign A and B to.
exactly. You can choose any as beta, but once beta is selected, then A and B are fixed. Nearer one will become A, farther one will become B. You choose this as beta, so this becomes A, this becomes B. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Write it down. We'll practice some more questions. Running it's Maghrib time over here. You write. Meanwhile, someone will scroll it for you. I'll just have to offer namaz and come. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. I'll
Okay.
type in the chat box.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Just wait for 5 minutes. I'm coming. Just let me know done running. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Done running.
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Okay.